All right, Kim.
Oh, I can leave the meeting.
I'd like to introduce Kim Beaudry. Kim is one of the head officials for Northern Ontario Curling Association, and Kim will be the head official for the NOCA provincials that are coming up the first week of January. So Kim, the floor is yours. The screen is yours.
Okay, well, thank you. Just before we forget, does anybody need a rules book? So we know how many to get ordered to ship to Andrea and she can
Just put
distribute them.
Put it in the chat box and I'll keep an eye on it. I think you all need. Jennifer, I think you already have one, but I think everybody else. Okay.
Okay.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, good. So we'll get started here. Unfortunately, I never did receive the level 2 book that they sent me from Sudbury or North Bay. I'm sure it'll be in the mail tomorrow morning. So I've been working on a PowerPoint that Karen had given me from before. So there may be a number mixed up in the corresponding to the current rule book. I've been trying to get them all straightened out, but it is what it is. It is a refresher. So some of the stuff we aren't going to spend a whole pile of time on. So we'll go with the positioning of the game umpires. There are 2 recognized systems for positioning of game umpires, 1 game umpire stationed at the home end of, and 1 game umpire positioned at the away end field of play. They're responsible for the supervision of all activities at either the home or the away end. So a couple weeks ago, we were in Sault Ste. Marie for the senior nationals, and this is the positioning that we used for most of the event. And we each were responsible for 4 sheets at a time at either the home or the away end. For the playoff games, we did move to the 1 game umpire per sheet of ice station at the playing end and responsible only for play on that sheet. And the duties are generally the same, but you're only taking care of the 1 sheet. So the duties of the game umpire, they're responsible for all activities at the home or away end of field of play. Although the away end game umpire is responsible for supervision at that end, the home end game umpire is responsible for the overall on ice operation. The game umpire is responsible for rules interpretation. They answer any on ice questions, concerns, and render decisions on disputes quickly, efficiently, and fairly. The game umpire performs all measures, including pre-game draw for hammer, free guard zone, backline measures, and measures at the completion of an end. The game umpire removes hogline violation stones from play when electronic hogline detection devices are not used. We aren't going to have any hogline judges, and I guess unless we're called to do so. And at that point, we would be watching everybody on that sheet. So the game umpire assists the chief umpire with the pre-competition check of the field of play. So when we meet to go over the laser measure, we'll put the measuring stick on the rings and make any notes that will provide the players of any concerns where the rings are a little off, so that they have that info. The game umpire is responsible for the inspection of curlers' equipment and uniforms prior to the competition, while paying particular attention to worn equipment and compliance with event guidelines on clothing and equipment. So the big thing will be ensuring that they are using the official broom heads, the numbered ones. And just because they're yellow doesn't mean they actually meet the requirement.
So Kim, will you be assisting with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? There was a U18, I think, qualifier, and I said, "Okay, ladies, just gonna have a look at your brooms." And we actually, they looked like competition heads. They weren't, and they were actually quite surprised. They're like, so it was a bit of a scramble to come up with some broom heads for them, but we got it all figured out. The game umpire collects the change of lineup forms and notifies the chief umpire and chief statistician. I don't think you guys are doing stats, are you?
No, No stats.
So I haven't really,
I don't think so. I'm answering for Stacy. I'm sorry, Stacy.
No. Be
So
lucky
it's
if you
all
get
good.
people out there to umpire.
and we'll work with what we get, right?
That's
Ide-
right.
Ideally, we'd like to do the one per sheet, and get people as many games as we can just for their, designations and whatnot, but I understand people have jobs and it's COVID times and some people aren't maybe comfortable being out, etc. Anyways, keep moving on. Game umpire controls media movement to ensure they comply with event guidelines. Just if any media wants on ice, I think we need to have a discussion with them prior to going out.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure. They'll have to go through our umpire rooms and have clean shoes and et cetera, or whatever, or otherwise they're gonna have to stay on the other side of the boards.
Yeah, well, and just having a discussion with them about movement and where they can be and whatnot. That one newspaper guy got behind the sheet on
Yes.
Cochran's last shot there.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
So-
talking to me out there a lot too. I'm like, you should just go away.
Yeah, they need to, and if I didn't see him talking to anybody, I
Yeah.
probably would have move on. But-
Yeah.
Game umpire monitors the time clock displays for accuracy. The game umpire clears the scoreboards after the draw and prepares the number boxes and the name signs for the next draw. The game umpire interacts with the athletes and the host committee. So they usually leave the scores up for probably, a half hour. We might not leave them up that long. And when we're putting the final scores on, like the scores, we write justify right to the edge of the board. They aren't put up in the middle, but we can go over that. Okay, we're not gonna spend a pile of time on hog lines. That doesn't really seem to be a huge thing these days. The team's delivery rotation declared by the team prior to the start of the game shall be followed throughout that game, except for as provided in rules 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 7. So they have to notify us if they're making any changes. I'm just going to back up 1 second. The other thing that as game umpires you will be assisting is getting the names for the last stone draw, who is throwing which stone, first and second. Karen just notified me that the ladies is a 2-stone draw.
A 2-stone draw. So is that 2 different people, one of
Yes.
each turn or the same turn?
To the same turn.
To the same turn. Okay.
The team that practices first throws clockwise and the team that practice second throws counterclockwise.
Okay.
And you guys are using Curl Canada rocks, right? So we should be red and yellow. I'm
If
guessing.
Brent is bringing them up, I would think so.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know, anybody have questions on teams? I mean, this is pretty standard.
Is this a presentation that you could share with me, Kim, and I can email it out to everybody?
I would, if I could take a little bit more time.
Yep.
Kind of trying to polish it, because I know that there's a few numbers that are not matching up to the rule book.
Okay.
Is trying to, so whenever this newest rule book came out, which is going to be done this year or after this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're slightly off by one
Okay.
thing. So a team that commences a game with 3 players and expects the 4th player to join the team, the 4th player may enter an end already in progress, providing they're able to deliver a stone within the team's established delivery rotation. Prior to the next end, the team may reestablish the delivery rotation. The designation of skip and vice skip may also be changed at this time. I don't really, when teams are playing in these competitive events, they're all there ready to go. The player leaves a game without being able to deliver any of their stones during the current end, may re-enter a game only between ends. A player may leave and return to a game only one time in a game. So if they have an injury, they haven't shot any rocks, they want to leave the ice, go get, taped up, whatnot, get their knee brace, they don't shoot and they can come back in the next end, but they can only do that once. If a substitute player has been activated, the replacement team member shall not rejoin the team until the next game, except as provided in 5F triple 3 or triple I, sorry. So if a player delivers their first stone of an end and is unable to deliver their second stone of the end, and the rules of competition allow the team to continue play with 3 players, the team chooses to play with 3 players, the following procedures shall be followed. If the lead, the second player shall deliver the stone. If the second player, the lead shall deliver the stone. If the third player, the second player shall deliver the stone. And if the fourth player, the third player shall deliver the stone. So sometimes people get this confused with the end, where you get to the end of the end and nobody knows who missed their stone, and they assume that if somebody doesn't shoot, that the lead shoots the last stone at the end. So if a player is unable to deliver both of their stones during an end, and the rules of competition allow the team to continue with 3 players, and the team chooses to play with 3 players, the following procedures. If a lead player, the second player shall deliver both the lead player's stones and one of the second player's stones, and the third player shall deliver one of the second player's stones and both the third stones. If the second player, the lead shall deliver the first of the second player's stones, and the third shall deliver the second of the second player's stones and both of the third player's stones. If the third player, the lead, shall deliver the first of the third stones, and the second player shall deliver the second of the third stones. And if it's for the fourth player, the lead delivers the skip's first stone, and the third delivers the skip's second stone. So. Sorry, I should have put it on the other. So go to the skips. The skip has exclusive direction of the game for their team and shall deliver stones in each end. The skip may play any position in the delivery rotation of their team, regardless of the position played in the delivery rotation. The player designated as the skip shall remain in that capacity throughout the course of that game. And there are always exceptions, but that's when it's the skip's turn to deliver, they will elect a teammate to act as skip. The vice skip may play any position in the delivery rotation of their team, regardless of the position played in the delivery rotation. The player designated as the vice skip shall remain in that capacity throughout the course of that game, except as provided for in Rule 5.6. The vice skip shall assume the responsibilities of the skip when the skip is not on the playing surface. So skip has to leave for a bathroom break. The vice skip then takes the role of the skip. So position of players, regardless of the position played in the delivery rotation, the player designated as vice skip shall remain in that capacity throughout the course of the game. The vice skip shall assume the responsibilities of the skip when the skip is not on the playing surface. Yeah. And the players not taking position 7-1A or 7-1B shall position themselves between the hog lines and to the extreme sides of the sheet when the delivering team's time clock is running. The player's position in this area shall remain in single file when the delivering team player is in the process of delivering. The non-delivering team member shall not take any position or cause such motion that would obstruct, interfere, or distract any members of the delivering team. So I'm hoping at this level they have that all figured out. So position of players, members of the team, the skip or vice skip directing play shall be positioned between the backboard and the hog line of the playing end while their team is in the process of delivery. They shall have choice of position for the purpose of directing play. The players who are not in charge of the house or delivering a stone will take the position to sweep. Okay, so then we go on to game time operation. Thinking time allotted to complete a 10-end game shall be 38 minutes. Thinking time allotted to complete an 8-end game shall be 30 minutes. Thinking time allotted for each team to complete an extra end shall be 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Do we want to go over if they run out of time? Oh, this is moving off the screen.
I think we should review it, shouldn't we? Or,
Yep, we can. So I just don't know if I have this totally.
because you'll
updated.
probably be involved at that point anyway, won't you, Kim?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are on the ice as an official and you see a team get to that 2-minute range, especially if they're starting an end and they have 2 minutes, I should be notified. The timing supervisor should be aware of that, and they would also assist with the timing on that sheet, like watching to make sure that clocks don't get left running, etc. But teams can play fast when they have to. But if the allotted time of a team expires before the team's final stone of a game has reached the near tee line, the umpire shall call a timeout and apply the penalty as follows. If the non-offending team is ahead based on points on the scoreboard and the counting stones in the house, they shall be declared the winner of the game. If the non-offending team is not declared the winner, as per 8(1)(b)(1), they shall be provided the opportunity to use their remaining time to continue play in an attempt to tie or win the game. So if the non-offending team has no stones left to deliver, the end shall be considered over and the score for the end determined as per Rule 14. If the game results in a tie, an extra end or ends shall be played in accordance with Rule 14. So they'll all get their 4 minutes and 30 seconds for each extra end, and they would get a timeout for each extra end. And the team that incurred the game time violation shall deliver the first stone. So a team may continue to play after their opponent's game clock has expired in an attempt to tie or win the game within their allotted game time. A team whose time has expired shall be considered the non-delivering team from this point on, and all rules shall be applied accordingly. The non-attending team shall be allotted an interval of a maximum of 20 seconds between their consecutive deliveries. Time management shall be under the direction of the chief umpire, who shall communicate as required with the game timing umpire. Their game time clock shall start at the expiration of the 20-second interval or when the stone reaches the near tee line, whichever occurs first. Their game time clock shall continue to run until all stones have come to a rest in play or across the back line. So if the non-offending team scores sufficient additional points to win the game within their allotted game time, they shall be declared the winner. If the non-offending team scores sufficient additional points to tie the game within their allotted game time, an extra end shall be played in accordance with Rule 1411. The team that incurred the game time violation shall deliver the first stone of the extra end. If the non-offending team is unable to score sufficient points to tie or win the game within their allotted time, they lose the game. So you can run out of time and still win the game. So during a 10-end game, a mandatory break of 5 minutes shall take place at the conclusion of the 5th end. During an 8-end game, a mandatory break of 5 minutes shall take place at the conclusion of the 4th end. The delivering team's game time clock shall be started at the conclusion of this break. If the countdown clock is not in use, a team's game clock shall be started when their stone reaches the near tee line. That doesn't make. So the first stone of every end is a free stone. So this doesn't really, this is from before. So I'm just gonna skip that.
So, yeah, so
Is
the,
that just in case they don't come back? Because I know we did have problems, especially with Jacob's team last time we had it here. At the end of the
Okay.
5th end, at the end of the 5th end break, they
They
weren't there and they were supposed to be throwing. So
Then you know what?
after
We will
after
have to
several times, yeah, like after several minutes, like I did give them a couple minutes leeway, but after that we started their clock and
Okay.
Mr. Fry was a little upset, but
You know what? They're not new to this. They know.
yeah.
So
I know, and that's, I mean, they were mad, but I
point.
mean, it's like we did try to give them some leeway, but
good note. I will add that to our team meeting.
yeah, just so they know that they times will start. I will give them a little bit of leeway, but
Times will
they
start. Yep.
otherwise try to take advantage of it,
Yeah. Of course.
leisurely get their way back
Mhm.
because they think they have that free time that they don't have to deliver until they want to. So I try
So the
not to. If they're ready to go after that 5 minutes, we definitely don't start their clock. But if they're not around and
Yeah, if they're not
they'll
around,
take the-
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
if it doesn't take, it takes a couple minutes or whatever, then we have
You
to
know,
start their clock.
They finish their 5th end break, and we also have
Yeah.
to keep in mind on where the ice crew is, because sometimes
Yeah.
if all games
Yeah,
end
for
at the same
sure.
time, it might
Yeah.
be.
And we definitely do that too. Like we look at whether sometimes if everyone sort of ends at the same time, we just sort of delay starting that 5-minute break till they get to the cleaning of their ice, because otherwise
Or-
it's not fair. Yeah.
No, and then if you have any measures, etc. If the
Yeah,
teams are all there and they're getting ready and they're about to start, not a big deal. But if the teams actually leave and don't come back,
Yeah.
kind of a big deal.
It is. It was.
So the delay of game in progress due to accident or illness shall be at the discretion of the umpire. Somebody has a major, I guess, uniform meltdown, i.e. your pants split. I think we would give you a couple minutes to rectify that. So if the umpire determines that a team is unnecessarily delaying a game, the umpire notifies the skip of the offending team. After that notification, if the next stone is to be delivered has not reached the near tee line at the delivering end within 45 seconds, the stone is removed from play immediately. An umpire may call a timeout at any time and shall call an umpire's timeout when requested or required to make a ruling, measuring, or judgment to communicate or administer penalties. So we'd use the crossed arms for an official's timeout, so the timers know to stop the clocks and take care of what we need to take care of. If we have to do a measure, we're dealing with anything, we're not being timed. So don't panic, just take your time. Like if you have to do a measure where if the rock's in the free guard zone, etc. We don't want to rush, slip, fall, move stuff around. So if a player is allowed or required to redeliver a stone, the time required shall not be deducted from the allotted game time for that team, except as provided in Rule 9.5. If an end is replayed, the time clock shall be reset to the time recorded at the completion of the previous end. That makes sense. So we went over that one. So each team may request timeouts twice per game and once during the extra end. Timeouts allow the coach or the alternate to access the field of play. Game clock will stop. Timeouts will last 90 seconds. The countdown will commence once the game umpire acknowledges that a timeout has been called. So the fifth or the coach will be staying on the carpet. They are not to go into the house, the playing field. There's no reason for that. During an end, timeout may only be requested from the playing surface by a player of the team whose game clock is running. A team's coach or alternate player may physically signal a request for a timeout to their players on the ice, but are only permitted to communicate with their players during coach time. With the approval of the umpire, coaches or alternates from both teams can meet with their players. So in the arena settings, the coach and alternate player may communicate with their teams during breaks between ends when neither team's time clock is running. So I'm just going to check with Karen on this one because they did it different I don't know what they did in Kenora when you guys had it the first time, but I know in Nipigon, they didn't do this because not everybody had coaches.
Yeah, I don't remember what we did. Trying to remember if they were even near the ice surface or if we even had coaches or fifth players. I think we had some fifth players, but I think they were just up in the stands. So
Okay. So,
Quick question
think-
on timeouts. There's no traveling time then, I take by that ruling. Is that right?
well, it probably depends on where we can set up the fifth players and the coaches.
Thank you.
I would
We'll have
hope,
to look
yeah,
at that.
we'll look at that. I was
I
hoping.
want to say they were sat at the far end from the Zamboni and like away from the timers, but I can't honestly remember.
Okay. Because the 90 seconds is to include the travel time. So sometimes we add travel time due to the facility and whatnot, but if they're out in the ice surface and they're not having to get around a facility and, fans and whatnot, the 90 seconds should be good. So, some of these screens seem to kind of duplicate. So game and delivering teams game time clock shall start at the conclusion of a 1 minute countdown. So that's if we decide to use that countdown between ends. If such countdown function is not in use, the delivery team's game clock shall be started when the first stone of the end reaches the near tee line. Oh,
That's really old, isn't it?
yeah. Well, you know what? Like I said, I was going through this and I've been taking stuff out, but that is the previous where you had the 73 minutes.
Yeah, so it's looking
So
like
just
there's a
X
few of
that out.
those in there.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to get them all out
Yeah.
and there's 70 some pages of this and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh." I was hoping to
Doesn't look
start
like fun.
I was hoping to start from scratch with the level 2
New
book
one?
that they're sending me.
Not much fun.
No. So, I mean, game time clock, that's pretty standard. I'm not going to go through it on here in case it has the old stuff. Delivery, I don't think we have to spend much time on that, using the right-handed or left-handed hack. Okay. There won't be hog line detection devices in those rocks, would there?
No.
If they're coming from Curl Canada? No. Okay, good. Because that would be crazy. Okay, so let's just go through this. These are all the delivery stuff. Touching a moving stone. So we can go over this one. A stone in motion shall not be touched by any player, equipment, or personal belongings of the team to which it belongs. So between the tee line and the delivering end and the hog line at the playing end, if a moving stone is touched or is caused to be touched by the team to which it belongs or by its equipment, the touch stone is removed from play immediately by that team. If the moving stone is touched or caused to be touched by the opposition or by their equipment or is affected by an external force, if the stone was the deliver stone, it's redelivered. If the stone is not the deliver stone, it's placed where the team to which it belongs reasonably considers it would have come to rest had it not been touched. Yeah. So inside the hog line at the playing end, if a moving stone is touched or caused to be touched by the team to which it belongs or by its equipment, all stones are allowed to come to rest, after which the non-offending team has the option to remove the touchstone and replace all stones that were displaced after the infraction to their original positions, leave all stones where they come to rest, or place all stones where it reasonably considers the stones to have come to rest had the moving stone not been touched. So the decision is that of the non-offending team. If the moving stone is touched or caused to be touched by the opposition or its equipment, all stones are allowed to come to rest, after which the non-offending team places the stones where it reasonably considers the stones would have come to rest had the moving stone not being touched. If the moving stone is touched or caused to be touched by an external force, all stones are allowed to come to rest and then placed where they would have come to rest if the incident had not occurred. If teams cannot agree, the stone is redelivered after all displaced stones have been replaced to their original positions. If agreement on the original positions cannot be reached, the end is replayed. And if we're replaying the end, we're going back to setting the time clocks to the end previous. So if a stationary stone, which would have no effect on the outcome of a moving stone, is displaced or caused to be displaced by a player or external force, it is replaced to its original position to the satisfaction of the game umpire. If there's a question to which stone was counting, the displaced stone shall be positioned in favor of the non-offending team. So we see that all the time. Somebody's sweeping and they nudge a guard with their feet. So the non-offending team would decide where it moves back to. If a stone which would have altered the course of a moving stone is displaced or caused to be displaced by a player, all stones are allowed to come to rest, and then the non-offending team has the option to leave all the stones where they came to rest or remove the stone whose course would have been altered from play and replace in their original position any stones that were displaced after the violation, or place all stones in position the team reasonably considers would have come to rest had the stone not been displaced. Some of these are okay. Last stone draws. A draw to the button for last stone advantage that is moved by a team prior to the measure will be assigned the distance to the next defined circle away from the button. If a member of the non-delivering team displaces a stationary stone or causes it to be displaced before the official completes the measurement, the stone is replaced to its original position by the delivering team. If an external force displaces a stationary stone or causes it to be displaced before the official completes the measure, the stone is replaced to its original position by the delivering team. Sweeping, I think we can just go over that. So I just added this. So we will check the brush heads to make sure everybody is compliant. I'm going to give you the information to access. So let me just see if I can do this for 1 second. So if you go to the NOCA site, oh, hang on. Okay, how do I move this bar? So I got it. So on the NOCA site, there is a section. I move this again. For officials. And you can go in and see all these files. And
Have you got it up on your screen right now, Kim?
Yep.
Okay, we can't see it.
Oh,
So look at your view options.
it still says resume share.
Um,
No, that went back to the PowerPoint, didn't it?
yeah. Do you want me to take over and just pull that up?
Sure. I was just. It's okay. How do I get this back big again? Oh, does that show it? No. Okay.
I think you'd have to stop sharing and then share your desktop. And then, so, yeah, so,
And then go share.
and then share your whole desktop.
Oh my. Sorry, guys. I'm hitting share.
We've still got it.
Can you see it? Or
We
no?
can't see the NOCA website. We can still see it. There we got it.
Okay, so who knows what I did? So
That's okay. So,
So NOCA, so the NOCA website, there's a section for officials, and you can go in and look at any of these documents in there. The code to get in is 3467. And if you go down far enough in here, we have the pregame announcements, we have the tiebreakers, there's everything, but there is the approved broomhead stuff in here. NOCA's broken broom policy. So there's lots of info.
I can
in there.
send that link to everyone. Is that okay, Kim, if I send them the link and the PIN number?
Yeah, the link is actually just on the NOCA site. You go to competitions
Yeah,
and you hit the plus sign there, and then you'll see for officials, and then you can go in and view the documents.
okay.
Okay, so let's see if I can get back to the PowerPoint. Do I have to do a new share again?
It might be the easiest way.
Oh, I get it. We only use Teams at work, so I'm not a very good Zoom person.
You're not a Zoomer.
Not yet. I'm learning.
So
So do you have the PowerPoint back then?
yes, we have it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead, sorry.
So for everybody else on the call, I will send out the link and the PIN number so that you can go in and have a look at all the documents that are there to familiarize yourself with them. Okay, sorry for the interruption.
Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, so that's the free. Okay, hang on here. So the free guard zone, the 5 rock rule. The free guard zone area is between the hog line and the tee line, excluding the house. A stone which comes to rest biting or in front of the hog line after making contact with the stone in the free guard zone is considered to be in the free guard zone. A stone which comes to rest outside the house but biting the tee line is not considered to be in the free guard zone. Any stationary stones belonging to the opposition located in the free guard zone shall not be removed from play by the delivering team prior to the delivery of the 6th stone of the end. When the opposition stone is removed from play from the free guard zone prior to the 6th stone of the end, directly or indirectly, without exception, the delivered stone must be removed from play and any other displaced stones replaced as close as possible to the original position. Any stone previously in the free guard zone whose location is now not in the free guard zone as per Rule 12.1, may be removed at any time without penalty. So the team can bump a rock into the house on their first shot, and then on their second shot, they can now remove it from play because it's no longer in the free guard zone. A delivered third, fourth, or fifth stone of an end may hit an opposition's rock stone, located in the free guard zone onto a stone or stones not in the free guard zone, providing that any opposition stone originally located in the free guard zone remains in play. If an opposition stone is removed from play, everything goes back to its original position. And the thrower's stone is removed from play. A team may remove its own stone from the free guard zone, providing it does not cause an opposition stone to be removed from play from the free guard zone. And again, if that happens, everything goes back to the original positions. And it's not, you just put the opposition stone back to where it belongs. Your stone goes back to where it belongs. Everything goes back to its original. A team may raise its own stone located in the free guard zone onto an opposition stone located in the house, not the free guard zone, and remove it from play. If an opposition stone in the free guard zone is removed from play during the execution of a raise, then Rule 12.2b applies. After the delivery of each of the first 4 stones of an end, it is the responsibility of the skip of the team who is about to deliver to ensure agreement with the opposing skip as to whether or not any of the stones in play have come to rest in the free guard zone. If they cannot agree, the umpire shall make the determination by using the 6-foot measuring stick. If the position of another stone hinders the use of the 6-foot measure, the umpire shall reposition the stone, complete the measure, and replace the stones to its original position. We won't be doing that. I believe we're going to have the measuring stick that will go over the rocks. I believe Brent said he was bringing one. So that'll take care of that. A visual agreement by the opposing skips as to whether or not one of the 4 stones of the end was in the free guard zone does not preclude a measurement occurring at the conclusion of an end involving the same stones. So if you're the skip and you want to remove a rock and you think it's in the free guard zone, you best make sure you confirm with the opposition. Stones in play and scoring. I can just go through by that one. Okay, hang on, sorry. So this is going to be an important one, the marking of the scoreboard for incomplete ends. So when both teams still have stones to be delivered, there's a concession, X's are placed on the scoreboard. When one team has delivered all their stones and there is a concession, if the team that delivered all their stones has stones counting, no points are given, X's are placed on the scoreboard. If the team that did not deliver all their stones has stones counting, these points are given and placed on the scoreboard. If no stones are counting, X's are placed on the scoreboard. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay. So part of the job of you guys as the game umpires, you'll be doing the pre-game announcements. We will print off the announcement page so you can just follow. We usually have this stuff highlighted. First practice will begin in 1 minute. You may cool your sliders. And this is old, but no sliding because you can slide. So I just added the 2 stone one. 1 minute before the start of practice, you may slide. practice may begin. You do the 1 minute. 1 minute to the end of practice. Practice is over and you go right into the delivery. Please deliver your last stone draw with a counterclockwise rotation or with a clockwise rotation. And then you'll do your second one that, and then you do the second practice. So that's, and those are documents are in the NOCA site there. One of the things, let's see if I can do this because I couldn't download this onto my computer today. So if you have like an iPad or something and you want to go and play around with this, it's pretty cool. This is the program. It's called Curl Distance. It's free. So you can go in, you just do the laser measure. Oh, that's not gonna work. You just type in what's on the measure, you go, okay, there, you would then, you can put your next one in. Okay, then you do yellows. Okay, and okay. And it tells you who has hammer, gives you the totals. So it works pretty good. But go in and fool around with it a little bit. You just have to hit the clear button and you can clear the whole field. When I'm doing the measuring, so we would go out, we're going to do 5 sheets. We'll put our numbers in for, okay, go to sheet 2. Okay, sheet 3. Okay, so they're queuing up the next one. I go back to the first sheet and I queue up. Oh, it's kind of hard here. And I queue up the next, I move my cursor down so I queue up so that I don't type over the
Kim,
previous one.
Could you go over that one more time? Could you stop sharing your screen?
Okay,
And then
Oh,
I think
yeah.
we could, then I can
Oh.
think we'll be able to see it
See
really
better?
clearly. There we go.
sorry.
Now we can
Oh,
see all of you.
okay, is that, Tori,
Uh,
could you put the lights down a little bit? See if we can get the color here. Let's see what we could do here.
that's a little better. Yes, now we can see a little better.
Okay, I'm gonna just clear it all. So I'll set it up. I'll probably just bring my iPad to use on the ice.
Okay,
But so you're gonna go out, we're gonna measure, so that's rock. So we just take the number off the laser, exactly what it is. We also are gonna do a paper written copy, so don't worry,
oh, good, okay.
so that there's a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Then you hit your next sheet. Oh, okay. Put some numbers in. Okay. Go to our next sheet. Okay. So we're done our sheets. What I do is I go in and oh, we didn't put a number in that one. Doesn't like that. Oh, that's way too much. Actually, I'm just going to use clear. If the rock is out, you just hit out, it gives you the automatic measure.
Oh, good, okay.
So once I got that measure done, they're doing the next measure. I go in and I queue up so that I have all my measure, I'm ready, so that I'm not, we had it happen a couple times where people would over type the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't panic if you do it, it's fixable. It's all fixable. But if you go in and just kind of play around with it, just to get an idea how it works a little bit, but we will do some work with it when I get there so that you have a good feel for
Everybody will have a
how it
practice.
works.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
can have an evening meeting or something before the competition starts and.
Yeah. Go
What's,
through it.
Laura, there's a question here. What's the program name again?
It is, yeah. It's called Curl Distance.
Okay, and it's an app, correct?
Yeah, it's an app. Yeah.
Okay. Curl Distance.
So it does, it's a pretty cool thing. We'll probably do, I think it worked quickest when we had 3 people doing the measures.
Okay,
So you had one person with the laser measure. You read the number out, the person that's writing it down says the number back. And we had, so one person inputting on the iPad, one person writing it down. And sometimes you do both the writing on the paper and inputting into the iPad. But
okay,
if we have enough people, because we only have one, I don't know how many laser measures we'll have. So they're being sent to Kenora. I think Brent is bringing them, so I won't know beforehand. I'll ask Karen if there's just one or if there's 2, but then we would need a second iPad
okay.
to be able to do that. So it's not going to take us that long to do 5 sheets.
No. No. I just looked at it on my iPhone and yeah, it's Curl Distance. It's there and I'm downloading it right now, so.
So Claude said it didn't work right on his phone.
Oh, well, I don't think I can get it on my iPad because my iPad is so old, but I'll try. But anyway, okay, thanks.
It might just be something you want to check out.
Yeah, yep.
How much time did you?
I
have
said
us
we had
do?
till 3 o'clock.
Okay. Is that this might be a good refresher? We could go through these questions from this exam that they provided me. If you guys want, or do
Sure.
you guys have questions of anything in particular?
Anybody have any questions? If you have a question, please unmute and open up your video as well so we can see who's asking. And there are no stupid questions, so go ahead and ask them. Hi, Peter. Oh, you're muted, I think, Peter. Yeah.
How do we decide which color each team gets and who has the first practice?
That's all predetermined on the schedule. So team listed first, practice first, and they have top of the scoreboard typically.
Okay,
And
thank you.
top of the scoreboard is often red, isn't it?
Yeah, it's often red or the darker color, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Sault Ste. Marie, green was the new red.
Ah.
And yellow was the bottom of the scoreboard. So yeah, that's all predetermined, so we don't have to do that.
Any other questions? Okay.
Well, why don't we do a few of these just
Sure.
to see?
Mhm.
So if a stone is broken in play, the umpire shall the umpire shall place a replacement stone where the largest fragment comes to rest. B, bring into play a replacement stone and let the 2 teams decide within the spirit of curling where it should be placed. C, get the ice crew to remove all pieces from play and clean the sheet and carry on.
Anybody want to take a stab?
A. I think we ought to do all of those things, but
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes, A, the umpire shall place a replacement stone where the largest fragment comes to rest. So 2, if the stone rolls over while in motion, A, leave the stone where it comes to rest. B, remove the stone from play. C, allow the stone to be replayed. D, turn over the stone to the running surface where it comes to rest. Anybody have a guess?
D.
actually,
Without confidence.
the answer sheet says it's B. Remove
Yeah,
the stone from
okay.
play.
You would think it wouldn't quite travel the way it should if it's going on its handle, so that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So, where a player is unable to continue in a game, the skip may A, continue the game in progress and subsequent games with 3 players, bring in a qualified substitute for the game immediately if the substitute can deliver stones of the player they're replacing. C, bring in a qualified substitute for that game at the beginning of the next end. D, all of the above.
D.
Yep, D. All are correct, depending on when the player was not able to continue and the rules of the competition. But yes, D. Where a player has left the game without being able to deliver their stones during the current end due to illness, accident, or other extenuating circumstances, no substitution activated, he/she may rejoin the game. A, at any time during the game, provided that his 2 stones are delivered within the team's declared delivery rotation in that end. B, at the start of the end only. C, cannot rejoin the game.
Anytime during the game. provided-
So that one is B, at the
Yeah,
start of the
start of
end
the end.
only.
Okay.
So. Okay, number 5, where a player has left the game due to illness, accident, or other extenuating circumstances, substitute activated, he/she may rejoin the game. A, at any time during the game, provided that his 2 stones are delivered within the team's declared delivery rotation at the start of the end only, or C, cannot rejoin the game. So
That's if they've already got a substitute
so
in,
so it says substitute was activated,
so they can't rejoin.
right? C, they cannot rejoin. 6, where a qualified substitute has joined a game between ends, he/she may play any position up to and including the position of the player who left the game at lead only. C, in any position. D, in the position of the replaced player when entering a game in progress.
Between ends.
Between ends. So qualified substitute is joining the game between ends. He/she may
I
play.
think it's A, isn't it? Aren't you allowed to reshuffle everything if you want to?
A and C are the same thing, because it says C, in any
Yeah.
position. In any position up to and including the position of the, yeah, that is. Okay, 7, if the 4th player delivers his first stone, allocated stone of an end, and is unable to deliver his second allocated stone, which player delivers the stone? So the 4th player delivers his first stone, and is unable to deliver his second stone. So who would deliver his
Thought it
stone?
was C.
Nope.
Thought it moved down.
It goes to the 3rd.
Yeah.
So if anybody remembers that scenario where
Brad
Brad Jacobs fell and smashed
Brad
his face,
Gushu, yeah.
or yeah,
Oh,
Brad Gushu, sorry. Yeah. So when he fell, he left the game. They had the lead shoot his last stone that end.
That was wrong.
And that was actually, well, as Bill pointed out to me, he said, in a Curl Canada event, yes, but he said with the Players Championship, they may have different rules.
That's true.
So in round robin play, officiated play, the team who has choice of delivering first or second stone in the first end is usually determined by tossing a coin. At the conclusions of the team's pre-game practice, players deliver 1 stone to the tee at the home end. The committee who makes the schedule, the team who has the higher ranking. So in round
B?
robin play,
B?
sorry,
B?
B, yeah. At the conclusion of each team's pregame practice, they deliver 1 stone to the tee line. one or two, depending on the event, right?
Why are the women delivering 2 and the men delivering 1 at the NOCA provincials?
I think because Karen said, and just
That's a good
no,
answer.
That is a, yeah.
you like
little
that,
And
Andy?
because Karen said so.
She just emailed me this morning. Or yesterday. She said, just heard from Danny at Curl Canada. Will be 2 stone draw for Scotties, so we will do 2 stone draw at the provincials.
Okay.
And she said,
Interesting.
thank goodness I didn't change the info in the guides after last year. We were back to 1, so all's good.
Good.
So I think they're just making it fall in line with what they're doing at the Scotties.
So the men's is only 1?
I'm gonna reread it. I'm
Okay.
thinking so. So that's gonna make games
gonna
that
be
we
interesting.
have both on the ice, right? When we're doing
Mhm.
the last stone draws, they're gonna have to wait. Oh, well, they just leave the ice, right? We do the second draw and then we bring out the next group to practice.
That's true.
So after the 5th end break, the skip and third are switching positions for the remainder of the game. The lead and second will remain as is. Is this allowed?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with B, no. Okay, 10, members of the non-delivering team other than the skip or vice skip must arrange themselves anywhere on the ice, providing they remain still during the opponent's delivery. If delivering next, a stationary position to the side of the sheet behind the hacks at the delivery end with the remaining players along the sides between the hog lines. Any position that would not obstruct, interfere with, or distract the delivering team. So members of the non-delivering team other than the skip or the vice. Okay.
B,
B.
I don't think.
Yep, we're good. Okay. If the handle completely separates from the stone in delivery, allow the stone to be replayed if the delivering team so desires. Remove the stone from play. The stone has to stay where it came to rest till the end of the end.
Oh my goodness. Is it in their hand?
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Oh, I
It's
still-
like, how do you not burn the rock if you let go of it?
The handle goes clink, 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 clink. A,
I
allow the
would
stone to be
think A,
replayed.
but I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's A.
Common sense says.
Sometimes that doesn't prevail.
This is true.
A stone delivered from the wrong hack. A, stopped and returned to the player to deliver from the correct hack. B, stopped immediately and removed from play. C, left to travel up the sheet, and then the non-offending team has the option of allowing play to stand or remove the stone from play and replacing all affected stones as close as possible to their original positions.
B.
B. If they know what happened.
It
Otherwise, C.
says C, left to
Okay.
travel up the ice, and when the non-offending
Oh.
team has the option.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay. A player may return to the hack to replay a stone provided A, the stone has not crossed the near hog line, the stone has not crossed the near T line, or the stone has not reached the near back line, or not reached, sorry.
B.
B.
Yeah, so that changed a few years ago from the back line to the T line. Where a player has played a stone belonging to the opposition. A, remove the stone from play. B, replace it with the stone belong to that team. C, replay the shot with the correct stone.
B.
B, yeah. Where 2 stones of a team are played in succession and the error did not discovered until further stones have been played. A, rearrange the stones at the time of the infraction. B, allow the end to continue. C, replay the end.
A. A or C? A.
It's C, replay the end.
Okay, there we go.
And then we just reset the clocks back to the beginning, well, of that end. Where the skip discovers that a stone has been being missed by a player but cannot agree on which player has missed their turn to play, A, the skip of the offending team delivers 3 stones. B, the lead of the offending team delivers the last stone for that end. Or C, the player in the hack at the time of the discovery delivers 3 stones.
B,
B, C's kind of an interesting option.
yes.
Following a blank end, the wrong team starts, but the mistake is not realized until the second's turn to play. A, the end is replayed. B, the end shall continue with the new delivery rotation. C, the leads play the skip stones.
A.
B, the end shall continue with the new delivery rotation.
Hmm.
So if you give away hammer, you give away hammer. The sweepers touch their own running stone after the hog line at the playing end. A, the sweepers remove the stone immediately from play. B, the skip of the non-offending team can leave all the stones where they came to rest, or place all the stones where he reasonably considers they would have come to rest had the moving stone not being touched, or can remove the touch stone and replace all stones that were displaced after the infraction to their original positions prior to the violation. So for
B.
18, we're going to go with B. Yeah. 19, the ice crew removes an LSD stone before it can be measured. The team A, the team to which it belongs can replace the stone and the umpires will measure. The maximum distance will be recorded. The stone can be replayed. So the ice crew moves the stone.
A or C?
It's going to be A.
Yeah.
The team which it belongs to can replace it to their original. 20, a display stationary stone, which would have no effect on the outcome of a running stone shall A, be replaced to where it originally lay by the offending skip. B, left where it lies, leaving displaced stones where they came to rest. B, replaced where it originally lay to the satisfaction of the umpire. D, the opposing skip may have any stones placed where she reasonably considers they would have come to rest had the infraction not occurred.
D.
So it's C, be replaced where it originally lay to the satisfaction of the umpire.
Oh, really? So that's because it's officiated play.
It's officiated, but in a scenario where we were like in Sault Ste. Marie, where we have 4 sheets, you'd probably have to go back and engage the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the following is correct regarding sweeping. A, any sweeping motion is acceptable providing no rubbish is intentionally dumped in front of the running stone and must finish to either side of the stone. B, the sweeping motion shall be from side to side, shall leave no debris in front of the stone, and shall finish to either side of the stone. C, only one team member can sweep at any time.
A.
That's correct, A.
C is correct during COVID.
Wow, wearing
Last
the
year.
Yeah.
yeah.
A team brush head becomes unfit for sweeping during a game, requiring to be replaced by A, the same or another type of brush head, but not a corn broom. B, only with the same type of brush head. C, a replacement which is inspected and approved by the chief umpire. D, the 5th brush head if one was being used for delivery purposes.
C.
A replacement which is inspected and approved by the chief umpire. So anywhere in front of the tee line at the playing end, a stationary stone is set in motion, may be swept by A, any player, but only one at a time. B, the team to which it belongs. C, cannot be swept by a player. So 23. Anywhere in front of the tee line
C
at the playing
or
end.
B, sorry.
B.
It's B. Okay, 24. In the free guard zone system of play, a team may take out an opposition stone lying in the house, take out their own stone lying in the house, take out their own stone lying in the free guard zone. D, all of the above.
All the above.
All of the above, yeah.
So which of the following situations is a stone still in play? A stone which has stopped halfway over the hog line, a stone which has touched the side line but then spins to finish in the house, a stone which has touched a stone in play and finishes touching the hog line.
C.
Yeah, that's C.
Yeah.
If two or more stones are lying near the tee and it's impossible to use a measuring device to determine the scoring shots, the umpire may measure the outside of these stones. B, use an overhead camera to assist in coming to a decision. C, determine the score visibly. D, invite teams to decide themselves. That's interesting.
It's got to be C.
It's C, yes. Let's use a camera.
Yeah, get a
Yeah.
drone in there.
The umpire displaces one of the stones involved in a measurement. A, the displaced stone shall be replaced to the satisfaction of both skips and the measurement completed. B, if the displaced stone would have decided which team scored in the end is replay. C, the stones are considered tie.
Yeah, and replayed.
Yeah, it's B.
I would say
If the displaced stone would have decided which team scored in an end, the end is replayed.
Did that happen when that happened to Al Moore? Do you remember? Not long, it was Quebec and Quebec and Manitoba playing, I think. And it was the first game of the Brier, and Al Moore had to go out and do a measure, and the measuring stick had been put together incorrectly, and he didn't realize it. And so he went to measure, and he moved, I forget which stone he moved, whether it was Manitoba or Quebec's. But anyway, I can't remember if they replayed the end or what they did about it. But I
Yeah.
think it was for a second point. I don't think it was for the first
Oh.
point. The first point had already been decided. So anyway, yeah.
Yeesh.
So it can happen, but we'll just check
Yeah,
the
it can
sticks.
happen. And check the sticks. And like we're not being timed as officials when we have to do a measure. Take our time. You know what? The first couple measures are the worst, right?
Mhm.
So you get comfortable in getting people into the right position, and because they have to be behind you, and some of the you have to come over here, and like they're looking at you like you got two heads.
Mhm.
We're not moving the stick until you move. But
Yeah.
anyways, so 28, red is leading 8-5, playing the 10th. Red has last stone. How is the 10th end scored as depicted below? So there's looks like there's two rocks left to come. So A, 10th end score X's, final score, red 8, yellow 5. B, 10th end score 3, red, 0, yellow, final score 11, yellow 5. C, 10th end score 0 for each team, final score red 8, yellow 5. So
B. B.
it's A, because there's two stones left to come. So if there's more than two stones, it's
thought it
always going to
said-
be X's.
Okay.
So it shows the two stones there at the hack.
Yeah, I
thinking.
just thought it said earlier that if they couldn't win, that you counted what was counting, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was a time thing. Can't remember.
Yeah, that was the timing
That was
thing,
time
I
thing.
think, Stacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
29, red is leading 8-5, playing the 10th end. Yellow has last stone. How is the 10th end scored as depicted below? So this is different. Red had last. So yellow has last stone. So A, 10th end score X, final score, red 8, yellow 5. B, 10th end score 3, red, 0, yellow, final score, red 11, yellow 5. 10th end scored 0 for each team, final score, red 8, yellow 5.
And there's still rocks to come, right?
There's two
Yeah.
rocks there.
Yeah. So wouldn't it be the same at A?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the same again. It's a trick question
Yep.
or just a trick sequencing. Red is leading 8-5, playing the 10th end. Yellow has last stone. How is the 10th end scored? So there's one rock to come. It's yellow. So a 10th end score, X final score, red 8, yellow 5. 10th end scored 0, red, 1 yellow. Final score is 8-6. 10th end score 0 for each team. Red.
A.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to, it is 20. Oh. This is 30. So it is B, 10th end score 0, red, 1 yellow, final score 8-6.
So even though there's a rock left.
Yep, but they opted not to get their other point, I guess, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they get their 1 point.
Okay.
I'm gonna email Claude to write out. He has a really easy statement on how to remember how
Mhm.
this works, and it was good, but I'm gonna confirm with him. So 31, red is leading 8-5, playing the 10th. Red has last stone. How is the 10th end scored as depicted below? So A, 10th end score, X's for final, red 8, yellow 5. B, 10th end, 0 red, 1 yellow, final score, red 8, yellow 6. 10th end score, 0 for each team. So there's never zeros for each team. So 31
B.
is going to be
B.
A,
A.
and
No,
score, X's final,
At score.
8-5. Yeah.
That doesn't seem to make sense, but
no, it doesn't.
I know, but that's
guess
how
if
they
you're
do it,
choosing-
eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
then
I
then
know.
you'll need to help us with that, Kim, please.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yes, I know how we do that scoring, right? So 32, red is leading 6-4, playing the 10th end. Yellow has last stone. How is the 10th end scored? So the 10th end is going to be scored as of A, final 6-4. So anyways, we're going to just go past these ones. It's just, so let's go to 34. If for any reason a game is postponed to another time, the game will continue A, as a new game starting at the first end, B, at a point where the game was postponed, C, at the start of the end in which the game was postponed with the score as it was. So any guesses? So we have to postpone a game for
B.
some reason, a power outage or whatever. And the answer is C, the start of the end in which the game was postponed with the score as it was. So we're just going to continue the game. So 35, one of the teams shows up 17 minutes too late. What is the result? A, the non-offending team receives 2 points. B, the offending team loses the game by default. C, the game starts in the second end. D, the offending team has last stone in the first end of actual play.
Don't know.
The
A?
answer is A, the not offending team receives 2 points.
Mhm.
So one for every 15 minutes or something like that. I think it used to
10.
be.
10 minutes, wasn't it? And then does the non-offending team also start with hammer? They get the 2 points and they start
I would
with hammer?
think so.
Yeah, I'd have to go reread that. I'm gonna do
Okay.
some research on that one, but so hope nobody's late.
That's right.
A team may call a team timeout for A, an injury to a player, B, an illness to a player, C, an umpire's ruling, D, a meeting with their coach.
D.
So, D, yeah,
The
to meet
team.
with their coach.
The other ones would be officials.
Yeah, those would be official. timeouts. 37, a game goes into an extra end. The dead time break before the extra end is A, 1 minute, B, 3 minutes, C, 4.5 minutes, D, 7 minutes, E, determined by the rules of the competition, or as determined by the chief umpire.
B,
3 minutes.
It's E, determined by the rules of the competition,
There
or
you
as by
go.
the chief umpire.
oh, really?
And it's usually in the competition guide.
Yeah.
It'll tell you that. So I think, what do we use for NOCA? 1 minute or 3 minutes?
I thought it was
I thought it was 3 minutes.
3
I
minutes.
think,
I
think
I
that's
think
what.
I think that's pretty typical. So it'll be in
Yeah,
our
I
comp.
think that's what's in the rock clock thing, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
But they don't have to take the 3 minutes if they don't want, I
No,
think.
if they're ready,
Yeah,
if they're both
If both
ready to
teams
play.
agree.
If both teams agree, and they
Yeah.
both have to agree. Yeah. So each team in a 10-end game is allotted 38 minutes game time. For each extra end, time given to each team is 4.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, 6 minutes, or 3 minutes.
4.5.
Where the game timing is in use and a team runs out of time, the game score stands at that time. The opposition play out unchallenged. The team will forfeit the game. So it is B, the opposition will play out unchallenged. And 40, a team's clock has run due to a timing error, wrong clock running. What adjustments will be made to the time clocks? So A, the amount of time the team's clock was run will be subtracted from their opposition. Double the agreed error time will be added back to the team's clock, and the agreed error time will be added back to the team's clock and taken off the opposition's clock. The time clock operator will delay the start of the opposition's clock for the amount of the error time.
Team's clock has been not subtracting it from the opposition.
So
C.
it's B.
Not double. Is it
Yep,
double? Big?
you get, so if they say it's, they ran for 15 seconds, you give them
You give
double.
them 30?
They give,
Okay.
you give them 30 seconds. And those
Okay.
adjustments are made at the end of the end. They're not made right away, except for in the 10th end.
Okay.
So, and it'll just be noted on the timing sheets, but
Okay.
they'll just go and adjust the clocks then.
Okay.
Just thought that was a good way to kind of review everything, doing that test.
Mm-hmm.
The other tests I have are, I think they're too old. I think they come with the, well, one looks familiar from when I did it with Bill, so
It's old.
it's old. It'd be a long time ago.
So the game umpires will all have headsets on and
Yep.
and communication with you. So when a team calls a timeout, if the timer doesn't see it, are we calling it as well? Like, do we?
Yeah, you can go in the radio and go timeout sheet. Are they numbered or lettered? And it doesn't really matter, but you just radio the timeout, and your timing supervisor will also have a headset, so they
Yeah.
can ensure that they're communicating with the. But if they're out there on the ice surface, they're going to hear it. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the timers.
So do you want the timers to stop the clock when they see it getting
Yep, stop it and
motion from the team, or do you want us to wait until
no, we can
they've
stop it.
contacted you guys? Okay,
I'd say stop it, and we're
Okay.
going to be out there too,
sounds
because
good.
that otherwise teams clocks are running for no reason,
Okay.
where they
And I'll
may need
make sure
time.
that our timers know whether there's a fifth player or a coach for those teams, whether they have to wait to start the clocks or whether they can just start them for their timeouts.
Yeah. So have you guys designated the home end? I guess the
I
scoreboards will be at the
believe
home
it
end, right?
was, I believe we started at like away from the Zamboni and away from the timing. Is
Okay.
where we started. I want to say last time.
Because
So
we
this-
have,
Yeah,
have-
like running towards the timing bench.
Was, so end
far
one
end.
came towards the timers?
Yes, I believe so,
Okay,
but I could be completely wrong.
so that's the south end of the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North end. Well, yeah, south end for starting, yeah.
so we'll just have to decide
I,
if
I
the
think that's what it was, but I could be wrong.
the scoreboards are at the home end or if we're putting them at the away end.
I think they were at the away end. I think we, I think we had scoreboards at both ends.
I think
but
so
we won't this
too.
time. We only have one set of
Uh,
scoreboards. It's
what's
my
that?
understanding. We only have,
Have one set.
So the
And
game
we-
umpires are changing the scoreboards, or are
Yep.
the players changing it?
no, the game umpires
No,
will be doing the
umpires will.
scoreboards.
Okay,
Yeah, so we did up 5 boxes of numbers before we left Sault Ste. Marie.
okay. So we'll review we'll have a practice session for like practicing the practice sessions. There'll be a script.
Yep,
First practice
there's a
begins
script.
in 1 minute. You may cool your sliders or whatever. You may slide, whatever.
Uh,
You had mentioned in the session that we had on the 28th that we're all to wear black if we
Yep.
can. Dress
Yep, wear
warm and wear
black.
black.
Yes, dress warm. When you're not moving around, you get cold fast. Preferably the black face masks. We'll be wearing
Mhm.
our face masks the whole time. I know the players won't be, but that's
But we have to. Anybody that
Yeah.
isn't on the playing surface will be masked.
And as of right now, we are not able to serve
Food or
beverages
beverage.
or food in the arena, so everyone should have their masks on at all times, including the stands and stuff at this point, because no one's allowed to eat or drink, so you don't have an excuse not to be putting it on.
Okay.
yeah, and the crazy numbers
We
again.
do
in
have an
Ontario.
excuse for not making any money.
Yeah,
Oh.
darn, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
I have
tough,
a
eh?
question, please. Russell,
oh, yep.
you mentioned about black masks. Are they going to be provided?
I don't know if the committee will have any there or not, but
Yeah.
for the on ice officials,
'Cause
yeah, preferably.
I have no intentions of going buying black masks.
Or do you
No
have
worries.
like just the regular surgical ones? The
Yeah.
Okay.
The blue ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just ask that. That's fine. I mean, we're going to work with what we have, but maybe not bright colored cloth ones that are full of patterns and whatnot for when you're on an on ice official.
It's nothing with advertising for sure or anything like that on it.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but yeah, if we just have even the regular surgical masks, and in reality, if the officials aren't moving around, you really shouldn't. It shouldn't be a distraction, right?
Right. We're only we're staying stationary for, there'll be chairs or something out there for us to sit on. And you had suggested, Kim, that you wanted 2 game umpires per end. Like,
Well, Karen has suggested that we have one for each sheet, but I don't know what your volume, like,
I'll
I
have
get
a
it.
look at it.
And you know what, if we have more, some games, because people are available, we'll do it. And
okay,
we can go between the 2 processes. I'm good with that. Like, I get it. Sometimes there's
I
gonna
will
be,
make, yeah, I'll make sure we
okay,
have
so
at least
one
2
game,
plus you.
one game umpire per sheet, not.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. And how many draws a day are there, Stacy? Are there 3?
3. Yeah.
3.
well,
Okay.
that's not
So I
bad.
think, I want to say 9:30, 2:30 and 7:30, something like that.
Okay.
I believe it
Lori?
is.
Lori has a question. I think.
Navy blue jacket, okay?
Yeah, I think so. As
Just
dark as we
dark.
can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't show up in your red,
A red
bright red
jacket.
jacket.
Okay, that sounds good. I got a
People
quick,
up.
I
I
got a
look good
quick
in red.
question. Who's doing this, the schedule for the umpires? Is it Stacy?
Yeah.
Do you want us to send you our availability in an
Yep,
email?
that would be awesome.
Okay, good. And what are you looking for from like January 4th on?
Well, it's not actually starting till the 5th now. So I'm thinking the Monday or the Tuesday, we're gonna have to have a meeting at night. I don't know, when are you gonna be here, Kim?
I probably would go Tuesday, but I
Okay,
can be there
so
whenever we need.
Tuesday night, I think we should have our officials meeting and stuff. I know Peter is out of town until I think the 6th, but I think everybody else, hopefully
it
we
would
can
be-
get together.
It would be nice to
Together.
have one official per sheet, one umpire per sheet, because then we can help each other out too.
Yeah,
For sure.
so, but I will try and
So-
make sure we definitely have, one for each end at the very least, and
Okay.
plus Kim. So, and then
Yeah.
I will try to get, so do you
As
want
many
four?
as we can.
Yeah, do you want 4 total, Kim, or do you want to be considered one for one of the sheets?
You know what? I will be the rover
Okay,
slash, so if we
perfect.
could get just to,
4.
that way
I think we
because
always
somebody needs.
only have 4 sheets going at once, as far
Okay.
as I looked at the draw very quickly, but I think the most we ever have is 4. There's always going to be an empty sheet, so I'll try and get 4 for
Okay.
umpires.
And then I can be like a rover, if somebody needs a break, wants to go warm up
Sounds
or
good. Okay.
whatnot.
And we should all have stopwatches too, like,
Yeah,
shouldn't we? It would,
if you have a stopwatch, yeah.
yeah. You could use your phone if you had to or whatever, but stopwatch would be better.
Yeah, if you're taking your phone out in your pocket, make sure you're turning off all
Mute.
the ringers, mute it. It's a little bit more cumbersome, you gotta sign into your phone, I know it's
Mhm.
get the timer going. Yeah, I can't think of anything else right now, but yeah, so Tuesday night's meeting will be, we will be going on ice, so make sure everybody knows that. We'll have a look at the rings. We'll do some simulations with the laser and get used to working with that. And we'll catch Peter up when he gets there.
Okay.
So it won't take
What time
much,
would you like to do that? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
Sure.
What do you want to do?
or 7
do you
o'clock, or even 6, like I just apply my travels around what you guys set up. And
Okay.
I'm on vacation,
Well,
so.
why don't I say 7 for now, and that gives everyone time to have dinner or whatever, and then can come.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll send, Stacy, unless you'd like to send out the link and the PIN number or whatever, or would you like me to do that?
What was that? Sorry, I heard the PIN number and I somehow missed what we were talking about.
3467.
Yeah, I heard that part. What was that for?
Oh,
So on the NOCA site,
Oh, that's not okay.
the NOCA site, there's a. okay, let me
Officiating
just
thing?
There's a, let me just share the screen. Yeah, so.
yeah, we can see that.
NOCA, okay, NOCA officiating.
So there's the documents, umpire resources. So those are, yeah, locked to the
Okay.
general public. But yeah, if there's any forms you want to go in there, you want to look at the announcements, you want to look at any of the last stone draw forms, etc. Will somebody
Now,
have?
do
a
you
pr-
want me to get that stuff printed off? Are you able to do that? Like for
I'm-
timing?
I'm
or
gonna get
timing
them all.
sheets and-
I'm gonna get them all done ahead of time.
Okay, perfect.
I like to come with them all done.
Yeah,
I'll bring
works
some
for me.
extra in case, I don't know, it always happens. You
Do
do
you
one
want,
page wrong.
do you want clipboards and stuff, or do you have that?
I have a lot of clipboards.
All right.
I have a bin of stuff I've just
Keep
accumulated over time.
Okay.
So yeah, don't go buy clipboards. Like I have a
I
lot
will.
of clipboards.
And pencils and that stuff
yeah, we'll
for timers.
No, you guys don't need pencils. I don't think I
Solid.
have. Pencils work best probably out in the arena surface,
Yeah,
being
For
cold.
sure. Just so in case we make a mistake, writing it down.
Just trying to think of what else we would need. Oh, is there a printer there at all? Around or
We
I
can-
don't, but I guess I could maybe
There probably,
email it
yeah,
to
there
somebody.
probably is. I would think there probably is in the, like in the city offices there. I would
Okay.
think. I'll ask tomorrow at our meeting and I'll find out if there's a printer available for us.
It's just that they'll ask for us to post the last stone draw. I can do it on a piece of paper, like that they like
Okay.
to see their accumulated distances. But
Yeah.
even if I guess I can email it to somebody at home and they can bring it back when they come the
I'm
next
pretty
time.
sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure there must be something available from the city, like at the rec center office and stuff. But I'll
Yeah.
ask tomorrow at our meeting.
In worst case, we'll just stand bomb it.
Right on. Okay.
Okay, any other questions for Kim or Stacy? Okay, I'm,
Stacy, oh, sorry, Andrea.
go
Stacy,
ahead.
it's Shannon.
Yeah.
I just sent you an email that said pretty much all I can really guarantee right now are evenings and the
It's
weekends.
evenings. Yep. Okay.
If you're stuck for a 2:30 draw, let me know and I'll see if I can have someone cover me. I just don't know
Okay.
where
Yeah,
things are going to go work-wise.
It's a shit show right now.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Right now
Yeah.
I'm booked off work, but I expect my phone to be ringing constantly.
Mine will
Nobody
be
wants
too.
to work anymore and it's fun.
Yeah.
We're
yeah,
just
my-
crossing everything to make sure this whole thing happens. It might be very empty and quiet.
Are you
Hang on.
guys streaming the games at all?
yes,
We are working on that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's good.
that's
Yeah.
another thing, because
that's exciting.
one place we had that was wanting, a guy that wanted to do it was charging us $3,800 and or something, or $38,000 and it was he wanted. And like,
38,000?
oh, you can go and get the advertising and stuff. I was like, we're busy doing that just to get houses together. Anyways,
Oh,
so I think we have
wow.
something worked out with someone from Dryden who's doing it for some room and board, and I think he's gonna charge or whatever, but we also have to find out from NOCA if there's something we can do. Josh had reached out to Bobby, but haven't heard anything back yet about streaming, so. But we are attempting to at least have one, if not all of the games streamed. But
Cool.
and if anyone knows of anyone that likes to yak on knows anything about curling, we need some commentating maybe. So,
Oh, no.
there you go. You'd rather do that than officiation.
Oh, no, I would rather officiate.
No, there you go. Well, if you have somebody, just pass it on, because we do have like the guy that's streaming, I don't think is a curler. So if we have someone that can work with him and do some commentating, that would be awesome.
All righty. So
Okay,
I'm gonna try and clean that presentation up a little bit more, Andrea, because it kind of duplicates in a few places
okay.
before we send it out. It's old, and thank you everybody for your patience with me using stuff that I was trying to get all dialed back in.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna have to be
Kim.
redone again.
Well, and thank you for
Remember.
doing this by Zoom
Yeah.
too, Kim. I think this is very helpful for people that couldn't make it for the 28th. So,
And if anybody has any questions or about anything we reviewed or something that you think about, just send me an email. And I'll try to get back to you.
Stacy, would you copy Kim on whatever you send out, and then everybody will
sure.
have her email as
sounds
well,
good.
if that's okay?
Yep,
For
no
sure.
problem.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording.